Hello on this glorious and amazing day, and thanks for joining. In a previous clip, we discussed how powerful love, affection, and attention is, and how it helps prevent molestation. We asked one of the questions where we asked, why is it that some parents, when the child turns 5, 6, or 7, do they refrain from hugging the child? Or if the child would come and try to sit on the lap, they would push them away or give them an excuse why they can't sit. Or, for example, if the child had a bad dream and the child is terrified and comes to the parent's room, the mother or the father will not allow the child to come and sleep with them in the bedroom, sometimes not even on the floor. They must leave the bedroom totally. And the question is why? If we can comfort this child and we could help this child make them feel secure, why do parents, and especially in most cases that I've dealt with, it's mothers, why do they reject their own babies, their own sons and daughters? So I have two answers. There might be more, but the two answers that I found, the two reasons why I found was, one is very painful because the mother herself, for example, was molested. So when the child gets older and the world around us is a reflection of our own heart, of our own mind, what the mother sees, she sees actually herself. And she sees life happening all over again. A child getting close to a loved one, and her subconscious mind, the amygdala, just freaks out. And that explains why so many adult children told me that when they tried to sit on their mother's lap, their mother would almost panic. There was a deep panic, like they couldn't figure it out. When they got older, they just try to analyze what was this panic. The mother, it's all about her, nothing to do with her child. The mother just cannot handle, especially those that didn't go to therapy yet, they cannot relive the horrifying feelings of getting close and getting mushy, and therefore the brain begins to produce a whole bunch of excuses that they weren't behaving, they were fighting with their siblings, and they tell their children, if you listen to your mother the first time I tell you, then you can sit on my lap. And it's so painful to hear from these adult children that every time they try to fix one thing, the mother found something else wrong, and they try their whole life to get close to their mother. There was no way they can, because the real reason was the mother cannot have them close or hugging or cuddling with them, because it sparked a fear and a panic in their own brain. The second reason that I found was, it's something as well very sad, is because till 1946, the belief by doctors, the mainstream belief was, as the child gets older, is not to embrace the child, which means train the child for adulthood. In adulthood, you don't go around getting hugged and kissed by everyone. And like as Dr. Psychologist John Watson explains, that if a child is trained to get touched and hugged time and again, week after week, month after month, year after year, what's going to happen is going to be an adult. So in his belief and his understanding, which in my belief was a mistake, he explains in his book that as much as possible not to connect emotionally to the child, so the child will get trained to be independent and not to be needy, to rely on someone else for all that affection. Until one of the brightest days in the world, which is July 14th, 1946, when Dr. Benjamin Spack came out with his findings after doing research in the 30s and the 40s, that the polar contrary was true. That the more you hug a child and the more you're close to a child, the more you express your affection to the child, that builds the emotional immune system for the child. So the child is healthier, self-esteem, and has a good self-image. Now, although the findings are produced and so much research has been done to back Dr. Spack's findings, and science today knows that the more you actually hold an infant, and later on a toddler, till the age of 3, the amazing wonders and miracles it does to the brain, yet not everyone knows about his findings, even though it was 1946. And what we usually do is just copy our parents that copy their parents that copy the previous generations, which is quite normal in many myths that we have, that we go on for 10, 20, for decades, and we continue on with the nonsense, even though we're hurting our own children. So this mother or father that pushes away the child when the child turns 6 or 7, they're basically just copying and mimicking their own parents, that their parents wanted the child to be independent, wanted to be an adult, grow up, stop being needy, and so on and so forth, which is simply a lack of knowledge. Thank you very much for joining, and always remember, you are greater than you think you are. Have an awesome and delightful day. Bye now.